everybody. It's the Smartest Dumb People Women's Edition, which is women's perspective, which is the only perspective. Womp, womp, womp. I'm your host, Yo-Yo, and this is my co-host, Treese, and my co-host, Nisi. And we about to get into it. So, the first question of the day is, would you let your mate have a OnlyFans? Me, if you pull in about, $30,000 a month or something like that, that's a conversation to be had. But if you only doing it just to, be a cheater or just to be out here trying to be popular or whatever the case may be, but you're not profiting off of it, then I would have to say no. What you think, Treese?
I would have to say no because OnlyFans page is like, it's so immature to me. Like, what are you really doing with life as a 30-something-year-old or a 40-year-old? Like, what are your goals? Like, what are you doing with an OnlyFans? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I could see if you were like a big, social media like influencer or something, or you're doing tutorials or, how-to videos on YouTube, but like an OnlyFans, like, come on, no.
What you think, Nisi?
I don't mind it. I mean, me personally, I don't care. I'm like, if somebody is willing to pay you for what people post on social media for free, I'll hold the camera for you.
There was this one incident where there was a teacher who, teachers don't make a lot of money. Yeah. And she was making six figures a month off of her OnlyFans. Oh, wow. And because of her OnlyFans, she got fired.
Wow.
So, I mean, how much really should we be looking at what people do for their, extracurricular activities or for, extra money? I mean, if you've been a teacher for 10 years and you still only making $26,000, $27,000, right, and you found this platform where you could, come out in a swimsuit every now and then, and now you're making six figures. I mean,
who wouldn't want to get that? I mean,
and you would have to be extremely confident, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I guess that was kind of a blessing in disguise then. She got fired, but she's making six
She
figures,
was able
so
to
it worked out.
Yeah, but her passion was to teach and to
yeah,
educate, and that was cut off in order for her to be on this OnlyFans and making money. But this teacher actually was single, so she didn't have like the relationship conflicts that someone else would, because the question of the day is, would you mind if your mate did it? Now, me, you got to be pulling in a lot of money, and you definitely have to be giving most of it to me in order for me to approve of the situation.
That's funny.
What Leland say? No swimsuit, a birthday suit. No, some people do get paid off of only doing, swimsuits, or they'll come out, holding their boobs or whatever. It's not always their birthday suit, but. What y'all think?
It's not always sex either. You can pretty much put anything on OnlyFans, pretty much.
He said women always lay. No, we not. We had technical difficulties while you're hating, bruh. Yes, anyway, while Leland is in the chat, because we know that he likes to antagonize people, we're going to go ahead and go to our first topic. Is the situation when him and Regina was talking about, child support and helping with the children after you left the relationship for over like 15 to 18 years, because she was saying that she was in an 18-year relationship. She has 3 kids. She had to move out of the home, get a new home. All her bills were more expensive, and her ex was only paying her $300 a month for like a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old. Don't quote me, but I do believe all 3 of her kids were teenagers. And so, Leland was like, a man has to take care of himself. A man has to, rebuild. A man has to get out here and do everything on his own. But in Regina's situation, she left her ex-husband in that house, so he was already comfortable, already structured with a home. And so she had to, move out and, get a new home, rebuild, restructure and all that stuff. And so we do have the video, so we're going to show y'all a little clip of what happened.
But I left the house. When I moved out, I was paying more rent. I don't get assistance, so, you know,
It's hard.
I had to pay for the car. I had to pay for the house. I paid for everything. Kids' school post, everything. So I don't get any extra help except what I get for child support.
All right, so another question that I have for you. Do you feel like child support is sufficient enough for you to still be able to maintain your home and your kids?
No.
Okay. So, and like I said, I could break it down to you in this way too. Child support called me, said that we're going to charge you $74 a month for your daughter. I said, that's not enough. They laughed at me or whatever the case may be.
Because that's not what child support is
all right,
for.
but I did that though.
But child support ain't for to support, because support is 50-50. And so let me take that back. I retract that. Support is 100%. It's 100%
Right.
on each individual. If one's not doing it, then the other one has to do it. That's how relationship goes.
Right.
And so that's the same way it's on the man. If you with a woman who have children and she decides that she don't want to work and she get welfare, you have to get health insurance, you have to be on child support, you have to pay all of this stuff. And so then a man can't help if a woman refuses to work.
I understand, but let's not.
Hold on. And we didn't laugh at you. We said what they put that $74 on you. Okay, you pay that, and then you can go above and beyond.
Outside of child support.
Outside.
But in my personal opinion, I know I'm not financially, like I'm not that.
If that's what you're gonna do,
finances. I would rather
Okay,
that be taken out.
but you're not okay with your finances, so you don't know how to budget your money.
So that's why you let the state take it. That's why you let
No.
exactly.
Because why do the mom have to figure it out? Okay, we don't get a choice to
She
say.
doesn't have to figure out if the daddy tells the state, I'm willing to give her way more than what y'all asking for. That's not the mom trying to figure
in custody.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, for instance, in my case, I get $300 for child support.
A month.
I don't get nothing extra from my
But she has
kids.
3 kids though. She has 3
I
kids.
got 3 teenagers. I
Right.
got 13, 12, and 11-year-old. I don't get nothing extra. When I ask him, hey, can you help me? I don't even ask him to buy the school clothes. I say, can you provide half? He say,
The
it's
three
not
ain't
in my
enough?
budget.
The 3 ain't enough?
300 is not enough.
All right.
When you got a teenage boy that's in men's clothes and men's shoes, and then you still got to pay.
Okay, so we want to know from the Smartest Dumb People family what y'all think about men having so many excuses of why they cannot provide after being with someone 15, 18 years. The relationship didn't work. It broke up mutually. But what you guys have to understand is that these kids, I can't take 3 kids to McDonald's for under $50. And that's McDonald's. So, I mean, how can we get men to understand that even without Section 8, without welfare, without food stamps, if you are the type of woman who doesn't need that type of assistance, how can we get men to understand that our expenses are like astronomical?
They understand, they just don't care. They just like we live in the comments talking about something that's a personal problem. It's a personal problem for you as a man. If you didn't have children with a woman and then you break up and you gotta fend for your own, that's life, honey. It's part of life. The woman has to fend for her own self too, and with these children. So you paying a little $300 in child support, that's easy. That's easy.
I think that
That is easy.
I'd rather pay $300 a month than pay $300 a week, which I have to pay to take care of a kid that I have custody
That's
of.
right.
Yeah, I think that's what matters too, is who becomes the primary custodial parent. So who the
Yeah.
child primarily lives with.
Yeah.
So men look at it like, oh, I gotta pay this child support, and I don't know what you're doing with the money, but you don't have to run a household with a child in it. You know, that's the difference.
And that
Like
question
you
bothers me.
can throw a couple dollars and then go about your business, go buy
Yeah.
them some shoes or do whatever it is that you want to do with your money. But when you gotta pay rent, there's groceries, there's
Utilities.
healthcare, there's school clothes.
Doctor's
Kids grow
appointments.
fast as hell. So.
Okay, so hold on, Rodrigo. We do understand that he said that because you lose that lifestyle when you lose the relationship, child support is for the kids. Okay, so what I'm telling you is that
It's not to fund their lifestyle though. It's to take care of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
most women don't use the child support
For
to
a
go get their
lifestyle.
hair and
Yeah.
nails done, to go get purses, to
Never
go
ever.
get clothes. Most women do use that money to fund their children's lives. Now, my children have a lifestyle as far as like sports, extracurricular activities, and you know, cheerleading cost me $1,700. Basketball cost me over $7,000 over 5 years. And so, if my kid's dad is only paying me $300 a month, that's not putting a dent into
What
what
you
my
already
kids
pay.
or our
Mhm.
kids' lifestyle
Yeah.
is. And so, if I'm doing what I need to do in order to make sure they have this type of lifestyle, I do believe that their father needs to do it too. And he
Exactly.
needs to figure out how to meet me halfway. I'm not saying you need to bleed a nigga,
Mm-hmm.
but I am saying that you do need to understand what these expenses are,
Right.
and you do need to understand that you do need to meet me halfway.
Right.
But another thing about me too is I'm not gonna badger your motherfucking ass because you know what the fuck you need to do, right?
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna sit up here and keep calling you and telling you what these bills are and what this is and what that is, because we gonna get it
Right.
at the end of the fucking day. We gonna get it.
I think too what some men don't, well, they understand, but basically if you have kids with a woman and that woman has to get some form of assistance, it's not her actually putting you on child support, but it's the state saying we holding you financially responsible for these kids, and you're not going to put them on your health insurance at your job, then yeah, we have to, you know, charge you child support or whatever. There's a copay and all of that's going to have to be paid for this health insurance that we provided
Mhm.
for dental coverage and all that.
Mhm.
Or, you know, and then if you have to get, what is it, Title 20 or whatever for
Mhm,
daycare,
for
too,
daycare,
like, all
mhm.
that
Daycare, that
costs.
stuff, all of that stuff costs. So,
But look at how much daycare is just by
A lot.
itself.
Oh, a
Yeah,
newborn
so
is like
Who is really complaining
300 a
about
week.
paying like
If-
$300 a
yeah.
month child support?
If you
when
work 8 to 5 and you have a newborn baby,
Daycare
newborn
is
to
very
about
expensive.
4
expensive.
before they go to kindergarten,
Yeah.
it's like $300 a week. So
Right.
that's $1,200 a month right there.
Right.
And so a lot of things with this, you know, welfare and stuff like that and child support, a lot of times if you did mutually break up, you can come together with whoever the custodial parent is
Right.
and say, hey, I can't afford to put them on my medical insurance at my job because it's costing me $600 a month. But if you work with me and figure out the avenues of how we can come together and go to child support together and do, because there are waivers where a man or whoever doesn't have custody can sign these waivers so that you can pay for Medicaid and so that you don't have to pay for it out of your job.
Okay.
So if you dealing with a woman who on her shit, she gonna help you, because at the end of the day, even though y'all broke up, y'all still family, and y'all need to work together. So not one person is continually bled out. You know what I mean? But
And when men say like, take me off of child support, I don't think that that's always
No.
an option for the
not an
woman.
option for me.
You know, because
Not
the
either.
state is like, okay, who's your child's father? And yeah, they gon' come for that paycheck and they gonna put you on child support. But I honestly don't think that it's you know, a situation where the woman can just voluntarily pull a man off of child support. And then why would, I mean,
You can if you want to. You can.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, if you want to, you can.
Even
Yeah.
if they get like Medicaid and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's optional.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't
You
know
can.
that.
Yeah. You
Wow.
can.
But I guess for some women, it's like if you're not handing over the money and you're not doing anything, this is something the state is requiring that you do. So why would I take you off child support if you know if you're
I'm
not
not gonna do it because I know I
Right.
ain't gonna see no money if I don't.
right?
What do you think, Niecy? What about some of these comments?
Yeah, I was just reading some of the comments. Yeah, like you, Brandy said, you risk these situations when you lay down. Exactly. This
That's
is
true.
exactly why women aren't the ones that are complaining.
I know he did not say we some thirsty ass blood suckers.
I don't know what that is.
Serena said women take on the full role
That's
of a
something
woman
women
and
need
father.
to think about before going to the man, because the man taxing. Wait a minute now. Rodrigo, I might have to call you up here one Sunday because, honey, you about to piss me off. You about to piss me all the way off.
But see, like,
I'm just playing.
I want to address though, like, 'cause
I'm just playing.
You do run these,
But
you
you
do risk this when you lay down, which is exactly why men have to accept they're gonna pay child support.
But listen.
Make sure you're making enough money. Make sure you get your coins up because you're gonna have to pay for these kids whether you're with this woman or not. So stop basing your responsibility on your kids with the relationship you have with their mother, because that has nothing to do with it. You can be with the woman, you're still going to be responsible for the kids whether you're with the woman or not. So just own up to the fact that you have to be responsible for your children. That's it.
There are some single fathers that are on my Facebook.
They do a
And
good
I
job.
guarantee you, if you ask them, they are going through the same thing that single moms go through.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. And I
Doing it
don't
alone.
believe, and for everybody in the comments, I don't believe it's a gender-based issue.
No,
it's
no,
just
not.
whoever
It's
has
the primary parent.
full
Yeah.
custody of the kids. So men can go through this, women can go through this. It's not a gender thing. So I don't think it's fair, that we be called, bloodthirsty.
But I can't be a bloodsucker for holding you responsible for your children.
That's right,
I can't be
Niecy.
bloodsucker
That's
for
right.
your own
Because
responsibility.
That's right. That's
I
right.
have
That's right.
I have a family friend that is a single dad.
Okay,
And I tell you,
Rodrigo,
he
I
don't
get you. I get
He
you.
don't get any help. He has to get up, go to work, get kids off to school,
Yeah.
all that,
Yeah.
like full time day.
Yeah. And I
it's
should
not
say
any type
whoever
of,
has
like-
full custody of the kids versus the mom or the single woman, because I think that puts people into a corner or a box of always saying that, these women out here do this and do that, but actually it's whoever has
There's some
full
deadbeat
custody
moms,
of. Yeah, it is some deadbeat
Yeah.
moms out there, and I know some.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So
There's
So guys, we're not trying to just bash the men,
I think-
because there's some women that's ordered to pay child support that.
Yes, it is,
yeah.
and a whole hell of a
People
lot,
make it
and a whole
gender-based.
hell of a lot.
People make it gender based because it's more
Yeah.
common for the mom to have the children.
Yeah, that
but
is common.
I want to answer Rodrigo's question of why is child support the first thing out of a female's mouth. It's actually not. It's more of the first thing that's out of a man's mouth. It's his concern.
Yeah.
Because,
It is a
you
number
have to
one
support
concern
your-
when they break up.
Yeah, but you have to
it's
support your children. You
It's
have to
because
support
when
your
you
child.
go from being in a household to not being in that household, then yes, that means finances are being split up. So that's a conversation like, okay, who's taking care of what? Because now we're no longer, we don't have our finances together. So that's why when a breakup happens or a divorce, child support is discussed.
And what everyone needs
That's
to
even
understand.
if you get divorced and you go to court,
You
the judge
still
is
have
going to
to
say,
pay.
what type of parenting plan do you have? What are we doing as far as child support?
Whether you go into the court system or not, you still have to pay for the child's needs. You still have to pay. So when people make an issue out of child support, it makes no sense to me because these children need to be taken care of regardless.
Rodrigo is saying that it's the first thing out of a female's mouth because most females are vindictive when they get their heart broken.
Whoa!
I don't really think that it's that.
Whoa.
I mean, some women can do it out of being spiteful, but I mean, like I said, when you are no longer in the household, you got to figure out who's doing what. How we gonna take care of these kids? We not together no more, but we still got these kids we got to take care of.
exactly.
So I mean, some women, they'll wait and they don't ask for child support right away. But when they figure out you got a girlfriend or you moving on, they do get vindictive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna throw your ass on child support now that you're not doing what I want you to do.
But that's why it's
So I
your
get it.
responsibility as a man.
Yeah,
If
don't let
you
nobody
have a
have you by the
vindictive
balls.
baby mama, if you know you got a vindictive
Don't let 'em
baby
get you by the-
mama, you take your ass down to the child support system and you work with them because they go off of your income. They're not just going to have you pay some astronomical amount that you can't afford.
But I mean, it's ways
off
to
of your own
avoid that
income.
too. When you are parting ways with a person, hey, I know we got kids. I'm gonna put the kids on my health insurance at my job,
Right.
and I'm keeping receipts for when I buy school clothes, backpacks, and whatever else. So that way, when you drag me into court on your vindictive shit, I have my receipts.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's
exactly.
Okay.
Fight fire
Okay.
with fire. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I think we could talk about this all day.
Yeah,
all
pretty much.
day and night. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and hit this next topic, and it's about when the dads in, I think it was 40 dads in Louisiana who took over the school to help with a bunch of aggressive fights that just was happening every single day. And so, you know, one of our counterparts, Leland, I ain't gonna say no names, but thought that it was not a good idea and it was a liability to the school to have the dads go in there and basically control the situation. Now, to me, 40 black dads. Hold on, y'all. We're going to show y'all a clip.
Not many good news stories begin in such a bad news way. It happened last month here at Southwood High School in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Plagued with violence.
Over the course of 3 days,
Another fight.
23 students arrested for fighting.
Massive police response to
But strangely, there hasn't been another incident since. Perhaps in part because of this most unusual crisis intervention team.
Nobody here has a degree in school counseling. No majors in criminal justice.
No.
Your qualifications are?
With dads, we decided the best people who can take care of our kids are who? Are us. What we do.
So Michael Lafitte started Dads on Duty,
We're out doing what we do for our babies.
a group of about 40 Southwood dads who now hang out at the school in shifts.
Let's go.
Today, any negative energy that enters the building has to run a gauntlet of good parenting.
What's going on, buddy?
You moving fast. I like that horse.
I immediately felt a form of safety. We stopped fighting, people started going to class.
How could that be?
You ever heard of a look?
A look? Dads have the power to do that?
Yes. Not many people know it, but yes.
Let's go.
But it's not just the firm stares and stern warnings.
Let's make it to class, my son.
It's also the dad jokes.
They just make funny jokes like, oh, hey, your student's untied, but it's really not untied.
They hate it. They're so embarrassed by it.
And it's that perfect mix of tough love and gentle ribbing that dads do so well that has helped transform this school.
The school has really just been like happy and you can feel it.
Which is why the dads plan to keep coming to Southwood indefinitely.
Because not everybody has
The father
figure at home. Or a male, period, in their life. So just to be here makes a big difference.
Do you think you stumbled onto something here?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They'd like to start chapters of Dads on Duty throughout Louisiana
What's up, baby boy?
and hope to eventually take on the country
All right.
without a fight. Steve Hartman, on the road in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay, so our point of recycling this topic was because, you know, Leland thought it was a liability to have these 40 black American dads go into this school and, you know, basically control the violence that was going on. But what we as women want you guys to understand that the black male presence is very powerful. And just by having these dads in there, it really controlled and stopped a lot of the violence that was going on between these kids. Now, I do understand with these teenagers, stuff do pop off, but with the 40 dads going in there, I don't believe like they would have to break a kid's arm or break a kid's neck in order to stop a fight. It's 40 of them in there at one time. And they were all pretty big dudes, so I don't think they really needed to put that much strength into breaking up a fight. What do you think, Nisi?
I think it's great. Clearly it worked. I mean, they said that they haven't had a fight at the school since. Even the students said they love seeing the dads and that they make dad jokes. It's minor things like this can shape a community in a positive light, and if we had more of this, then we would have solved so many issues that a lot of people complain about in the community. This was just a simple gesture from a group of dads, and it worked.
Yeah.
If we have more of that, we can solve a lot more issues on our own without having to have government intervention, police intervention, any of that. If we did more,
or having other cultures come in to control a culture that they know nothing about. What do you think, Trees?
I think, oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. With the younger generation, it's different. You know, this younger generation is totally different than how we were raised, and so it takes a village, and so you definitely have to have a different approach when it comes to these kids. You can't just go up there and be like, I'm just going to whip ass. Right. That's not the answer, because these kids, I don't say that they soft nowadays, but it's like, you put your hands on a kid, you don't know what's going to happen. And you can't actually understand.
What is it that you get more flies with honey than you do shit?
Right. So I think
so
that it's a good.
It's better to do it in a positive way.
It's a good idea. And if it's actual real parents that are in the school, it's not a liability, because these are real parents and their kids, you know, go to this school.
They have children involved.
So I don't see it as really being like a liability.
I don't see how it could be a liability unless you're just looking for a negative.
Yeah. And then I'm sure that they still have like their resource officers
Of
there
course,
too.
of
So
course.
when it comes to, they probably don't have to get physical with kids, because that's what the officers are there for.
Yeah.
But those dads,
But
you know, are probably
that
keeping them
doesn't
in
work.
line.
Getting physical only makes things worse. That's traumatizing for a
It
kid.
is.
They'll come back and they think that they're supposed to act out
Right.
violently because that's how they were handled.
Yeah. Right.
So it's better for people to come and talk and, you know, console these kids versus punish them. That's why we have a school to prison pipeline, is because we want to punish these kids instead of helping them.
And it, like with the resource officers, like that's, I think you said that, Yolanda, about them like not being from that area, so they don't understand
care.
those kids.
Exactly.
They're coming to control, not to actually help. They're like, hey, I'm here to assert authority. I'm not here to make sure that you get to class safely.
And let's face it, we've seen clips, you know, we've seen clips on social media of these resource officers in the school handling these kids, like roughing up young girls.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't mean that because they have a badge or they're a cop that they're, you know,
they're better equipped.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. It's only going to take one female to say they don't like the way they handling their child. And, you know, actually, it could be a female or a male. But the problem is these parents have to take accountability for their children going to school.
Right.
Very enraged, very aggressive, not happy, wanting to invoke violence on other children. Right. And so once a parent realizes that, you know what, my son came in here, got all his homeboys together, they went and jumped 4 other dudes, and I need to be accountable for my son starting this shit, okay? And so be more appreciative of people willing to volunteer their time in order to save these kids. But I do understand what you're saying. All it takes is one person to say, oh my God, they came in here, they did this and they did that, but there needs to be a mediator there to break down what's really going on.
And on top of that
accusation can be made against a teacher or any adult.
That's what I'm saying. That's already, we just said
kids.
that these officers they're slamming these kids on the ground, they're pulling them by their hair. Parents are already saying they don't like the way their children are being handled, and ain't nothing being done about it.
Right.
They're coming in here to handle it a better way. Our kids are already being slammed and treated like scum. And parents are complaining, ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing changes. So saying that all it takes is one female to complain, they are complaining. Ain't nothing changed. And what did change was these men stepping up. That's what changed.
Right.
Y'all ready for the next topic?
Yep.
Okay. So we want to talk about the Raiders wide receiver that killed that 23-year-old girl and her dog while driving drunk. And the question is, does everyone drink and drive? So I do. And we're going to show y'all this clip.
Yes. Yeah, there's somebody in the car. They're getting, they're coming right now.
He is not done punching! Hey, look at me. Think about keeping, okay? Think about keeping, okay? You hear me? You hear me? Look at me, look at me. Hey, look, he pressed on right. He needs help ASAP, bro. Hey, look. You see me? You see me? Ow.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming.
With this wide receiver being of adult age, and with all the avenues that you can take to leaving a scene, you know, extremely drunk, you know, you don't have to drive and things like that. I think the dude need 15 years or more. I mean, I just do. It's just like, he's extremely rich and privileged, and you think ain't nothing gonna faze you, ain't nothing gonna touch you, but here you are, bro, and you should go to jail for a very long time for what you did. And I don't care, the next day when you woke up in jail, you was sober and you was sorry, but that girl can't get her life back. That dog can't get his life back. What you think, Niecy?
I feel like I've not driven drunk. I've driven tipsy before, but like I take driving very seriously. I have friends that have died in car accidents and stuff, so I take this stuff very seriously. I would never like know that I'm too drunk to drive and still get behind the wheel. So yes, there should definitely be penalty for that. There are too many people dying. I mean, not even just driving drunk, but just speeding. Because this man was going over 100 miles per hour when he crashed into this woman.
157.
Yeah, he was going way too fast for him to, let alone being drunk.
And I think he was in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, and he was in like a little sports car. He was in a nice little sports car, and that's just ridiculous for him to be driving that speed. And then I think about the comedian Tony Baker, how his son was killed because somebody was drag racing. He died in a car crash because somebody was drag racing. I think people need to be more responsible when driving, period, because it's very dangerous. Driving 60, 100 miles per hour. Right. You crash into something, you're liable to die.
And vehicular homicide, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You gonna go down.
You're going down, and there's no excuse for
what
it.
You
can
think,
be
Trace?
Sorry all you want to. You don't have to face it.
I think that there should definitely be harsher penalties for vehicular homicide. I feel like people get off way too easy. There are some people that have had, I don't know how many DUIs, and they get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And then when they kill somebody, it's like they get a couple years, and then they're back out on the street
driving drunk.
I also feel like drinking and driving is a choice. You know, you have Uber, you have Lyft, you have carpool, you know, all these things that you can do.
Taxi's still available.
And they offer free
and
services.
To be like, if you know that you're going out, like, hey, this night is about to be lit, we're going to turn up, I'm going to be wasted, whatever. You can always go to your Uber app and say, pick me up at this time, at this location. You know when you are too, like, wasted to drive. When you get in a car and you can't even stay awake, or, you know, you're stumbling. If you can't even walk,
you can't walk straight. What makes you think you drive? Exactly. If you can't even stand up straight,
it's a choice. But I also just like alcoholism is a real thing, you know. And some people don't know when they've had enough. So it's sad that she had to pay with her life. But
Leland's asking, do y'all text and drive? I don't text and drive because anything that takes your
text and drive and drinking and driving. There's a difference there, but they're both irresponsible acts. And so, do I text and drive? I don't. I have the type of phone to where it will read to me the text. I will scream out what I need to say. It may not be right when it transcribes, but I do not sit there on my phone while I'm driving. I know a lot of people do that. But when we're talking about drinking and driving, and we're talking about killing people, that's when the situation becomes different from texting and driving. I know people have been texting and driving and they've killed someone. But see, since there was no alcohol in their system, there were laws that didn't pertain to them, and so they got off with a slap on the wrist. And so that would be an avenue you would want to, visit or research if texting and driving and killing someone should meet the same measures as drinking and driving and killing someone. I don't.
Anything where you're not focused, I think they should. I really do think they should, because you're not focusing on driving. If you have your foot on the gas, you're not looking at the road where you're driving.
Right.
That is a violation. You should definitely be punished to the highest extent of the law if you crash and hurt someone.
I think so too.
I absolutely. Whether you're drinking, whether you're texting, whatever the heck hell, even if you're just normally out driving, you make one of them mistakes. That's why they have driver's tests. That's why you have to have a driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
If you do any violation, if you run a red light and crash and kill someone, you should be held to the highest extent of the law.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no excuse for it. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse for it.
Ask for help if you're drunk.
Yeah, or do
get
like
support.
she said, they have Lyft and Ubers that will give you free rides if you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a choice. It definitely
It's a
is.
choice.
So anyway, one thing I forgot to ask the ladies before we started is, how was your week? How was your week, Lisa?
Oh, it was long.
Was it long?
It was
it
long
long because
and
of work,
draining.
or more, emotional type of issues?
Oh, I've
or?
had emotional issues too, but it's been long because of work. And
Leland, what's all cap? Come on, Leland, what's all cap?
This is all cap.
Saying that it's wrong to text and drink and drive is saying that it's wrong. If you are at fault for causing a car crash and killing someone, you should be held to the highest extent of the law. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't see what's cap about that.
We done with Leland. Tell me how your week was.
My week went okay. I've been working, and I had some makeup to do over the weekend, but it was pretty, relaxing.
And she did our makeup today, so thank
Yes,
you very
she did.
much.
Yes, she did. Free advertising for Tree.
Yes, she does great.
Definitely check her out on Facebook if you want your makeup done.
Thank you.
And my week went, pretty okay. I've tapped into recycling furniture and painting, and that's been very therapeutic for me. It's a lot of physical exertion that you have to do in order to get that stuff painted and looking cute and stuff. So I've tapped into
Leland,
that side of myself.
You said y'all look beautiful. Thank you,
Leland.
Leland.
We love when you're nice. You're just a nice guy overall.
Yeah, he can be sweet when he wants to be.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is actually the Smartest Dumb People Women's Edition. So we will be doing this one Sunday a month, unless the viewers, they really, text Anthony and tell him they want us more. This is like a trial run for us. So we hope we did y'all justice. I know we got into it, but that's what we do. And so I'm going to bring the director of the show up, Anthony, that dude. And we want to thank him for this opportunity.
Thank you all for coming. Thank y'all. Good show, ladies. It's their first show. Good show. We did great numbers. We did good today. Anything else y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Thank you for inviting me.
Please offer suggestions. If y'all have something that y'all would like for us to speak on, please go to the Smartest Dumb People page on Facebook and drop it in the comments or
and YouTube too.
Yep.
Okay, everybody, have a good week.
Thank you.